Hey, welcome back to Mr. Smith Garage. Still kind of tooling through Lars the EuroVan trying to figure out these dash lights. If you haven't been following along, I have two lights left that pop up on the dash when I start the car and drive it. Those two lights are ABS and I think it's a traction control light. I've narrowed it down to the steering angle sensor, because that's the only code I'm getting on my vehicle now. Car drives fine. I've been driving it pretty regularly. It drives great. Engine runs well. No engine codes coming up anymore. I think once I plugged in that, whatever that one plug went to the fuse block that's up there by the battery, like all my other codes that I was occasionally getting went away. And so just those two codes remain. And the code, or just the two lights remain. The code that's coming up is steering angle sensor, which is in here in the steering wheel mechanism. I'm going to show you what we're looking at here. So I pulled off the kind of the clamshell that covers this, and this is my OBD2 sensor plug-in, and this is for this plug-in here is for the windshield wiper. I'm assuming maybe some of these this wire might be for airbag. This one looks like it's for window washer fluid maybe. But I'm assuming this is probably airbag and steering angle sensor on this one, because is that the only wires that I have left there? We've got blinker, high beams, cruise control on that plug-in. And there's a plug-in right there. That's probably the steering angle sensor, because that does look like it's blue, red, and black, I think, on those colors. So anyway, in order to get this steering wheel off, you've probably seen videos on that before, but there's two little spots back here, right here, and then one on the other side. Where you stick a screwdriver in there and on both sides and kind of flick it one way, and then this airbag will pop off. You have access to unplug the airbag, and then there's a nut to pull the steering wheel off, so that we can have access to that steering angle sensor. In order to do that, though, I did phone a friend, because I've only taken a steering wheel off of a vehicle with an airbag one other time, and I want to say there was something on my wife's Passat. I can't remember what it was, but I remember hearing that you should disconnect the battery. And so once again, thanks to my phone friend Tim, one of my subscribers, I am going to take the battery terminals off before I do the airbag release thing. So that's probably a pretty important thing to do, because I don't know, if you're messing with the steering wheel, it might think you're in an accident, and then boom. So we don't want to do that. Okay, so we've got battery terminals taken off and zip tied up, because these battery terminals just want to go back to the same position. Okay, I'm trying to get the best angle for you here. I don't know if this is it, but we're going to give it a shot. Battery is disconnected. I brought a bunch of tools in because I figured we'd need some different tools. Let me try these, because they're smaller and I can fit them in here. Okay, if the airbag goes off, at least I got a picture of it, huh? Oh, there we go. Okay, so in that way. So let's see if this does the same thing. This one's a little harder because the keys here. Got it. Okay. So it's probably just because I was scared, that this thing was going to go off. Here we are. Oh. It's like we're working on a bomb here, huh? Okay. So I think we squeeze the yellow together. Pull out. Good. And then looks like we've got some ground wires there. That would really hurt if that went off on me now, but glad it didn't. Okay. There we go. Boy, that's pretty heavy. Airbag. That is pretty heavy. Heavy stuff. Okay. We're gonna put it over there while we're waiting. Let's see what's going on here. Where was that? Oh, I see. Okay, so that's what the back of that airbag. See how it's got these, I guess you'd call them pointed levers there. And you can see inside there, what you have to do is bring your I don't know how it moved, but basically this thing just moves over enough to let it out. Oh, it moves that way. That's what it does. Can you see that? See how it moves over just ever so slightly. I think I'm going to take the steering wheel off and see what's underneath there. So what do you think that is? 23 millimeter. Okay, so I'm doing my best not to break this. I didn't actually go watch a video yet. I just thought, oh, I'll start shaking it around and seeing where things are loose, not holding a light. And sure enough, right here, there's kind of a little loose spot. It looks like that's a little lever. There's one. Let's see, there should be another one then over here, because it feels like there's tension over here. Haven't found it yet. Still working on it. Oh. Okay. So there's two here, which means that there must be. Well, there's two wires on the bottom, and that's where I feel like I'm getting hung up. Let me show you this. So there's got to be a way here that it comes off. And I was thinking it was here, but that doesn't seem to work. So it must be just right in the middle underneath. See, it looks like maybe this thing should release it. Gotta be a way for it to come off up there, huh? You guys seeing it? Or are you saying it's right there? Mr. Smith, it's right there. Okay, you guys still there? Sorry, I'm gonna cut some of that stuff out, but it's right here. It's a single one right here. And it was just, it looked like a single piece. But that's it. So now I'm taking this off. And keeping this where it was, because I don't want to mess too much with the clock spring. I don't want to get the angle off. Okay, so now let me sit back in here and see what I can see. Okay, so now we should be seeing somewhere here is, I think I'm going to take those screws out. Okay. I don't think the steering angle sensor is inside the clock spring. I think from what I've seen, it's in here somewhere. So I guess we'll see, huh? Because what I was kind of thinking on this, because this vehicle sat for so long, I was thinking it might just be a contact is dirty, or a wire is eaten, or something along those lines. But, I mean, you know, this is really inside the steering wheel. I can't imagine it being that dirty, right? Okay, so we got these 3 screws out. Let's see if we can take some of these wires off of here. And there's one over here. It's got one wire down here going to this one. Okay, it is dirty. Oh, there's 2 of my screws. There's my 3rd one. I'm gonna put those right up here. Okay, let me show you some dirt. See, there is dust. Or I'm looking at it, but are you looking at it? See, there's like some fuzzy dust right here. You can see there's some stuff in here, pretty dirty, kind of, right? We'll clean that up with some electric cleaner. All right, we're gonna clean all this up and go from there. Okay, so I found a part number on this piece. Okay, so believe it or not, there is no part number listed anywhere. On the back of the blinker handle, I've got .SAE 0896. So I'm assuming that's when this part was actually created. Okay, but I'll tell you where I found the part number. Can you see inside there, way in there? Here, I gotta hold this so I can point at it. You see it inside right here? It's 290579. 6 digits. As far as I know, I don't think Volkswagen ever had a 6-digit part number. So what I did anyway is I just really kind of cleaned everything up. Used kind of my brass brush, cleaned all the contacts, cleaned in here, which, you know, I am gonna say that I think the steering angle sensor is actually in that clock spring, based on some other research that I had been doing. So I'm gonna look at the clock spring again before I put it all back together, but I figured I'd give you kind of a recap of what I've done. Okay, so I'm looking at the back of the clock spring, and there is this contact right here at the bottom. You can see it by my thumb there. That's a little crusty, so I think what I'm going to do is brush that with a wire brush. That does, you can see that does turn around as the steering wheel's turning. You can also see there's this piece. I don't see any contacts on it, but it looks a little dirty. Be real careful about moving this thing, because it does have things that will at least line up on the steering wheel when the steering wheel goes on. We'll just clean this up on everywhere that I can see needs some cleaning, and I'll get the part number off of it before I stick it back on. So I'm pretty sure that the steering angle sensor is inside this as well. Oh, look at that. You probably cannot see what I see here because it's so close, but look at, do you see that shielding of that wire is broken right there? Right here. Can you see that? Very interesting. There was a period of years when the wire stuff just wasn't as good as it used to be. Like they'd use some cheaper wire shielding, and I don't like that. I don't think that hits anything, but I'm going to put a little piece of tape around that, because moisture could get in there. So interesting. We'll clean this up and get back to it. Yeah, okay, so I'm going to hook the battery up. We got this in. And I figured I'd leave you right there on the front seat while I hook the battery up, just in case the airbag goes off. It'd make for a good video. Okay, here we go. Well, the airbag didn't go off. I guess I had the keys in, huh? Let's take the keys out. We've got battery connected. I'm still afraid. Should be afraid, right? Nothing could go wrong. I'm going to kind of sit back here a little bit. Get a good angle for you there. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Battery's in the on position. Those are all the lights that should be on until I start the car, right? Okay, just checked and 0 is inside. So I open the garage door. We're gonna start this puppy up and see what happens. Alright, my ABS light is still on. So what I think I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn the wheel all the way one way. Hold. Turn it back. Center. All the way the other way. Hold. Back all the way the other way and hold. Just need to turn it back all the way the other way and hold. And then we're going to turn it back to center. That's center. I'm going to turn it off. I'm going to turn it on again. See if it clears itself, which it doesn't look like it did. Hang on, let me hook up the OBD scanner. Okay, we're going to run some live data here. Lights didn't go off, they're still on. And for some reason, the brake light came back on. So figured probably good thing to maybe run some live data just here in the neighborhood. See if we can figure something out. Okay. Let's put it in drive. And you can see my rotation rate. You see that? That's moving. But the steering angle sensor is staying on 0. But the rotation rate is working. My brake pressure is working. My brake light switch operated. See how it goes to operated? So that's working. Huh. You can see the machine is trying to run diagnostics on this thing, which is okay. I am just in my neighborhood, so. Well, once again, we have not resolved the 2 lights. And the code still is steering angle sensor. I think it was G085. You've probably seen it on earlier videos. Still runs pretty good, brakes really good. Just, I think that steering angle sensor is inside the clock spring. And so I'll look at those part numbers that I took some pictures of. I'll show them to you right here. And see how inexpensively I can get a clock spring for. Knowing that it works, and it's just a sensor, I feel okay about selling it the way it is, but if I can fix it, it was pretty easy to take that stuff off. Of course, there's the thought of the airbag going off, but it didn't. Yeah, so that's where we're at. Thanks for watching Mr. Smith Garage. We do hope that you subscribe, like. I'm really close to 500 subscribers. If you haven't subscribed, just go ahead and subscribe. Just put me over the top of the 500. So thanks again for watching.